Welcome to the 14th episode of Stay Nerdy, my friends. Today I'm going to be teaching you about the Higgs Boson particle and all of the new research into it. First of all, I would like to say that I believe that the particle that we found is the Higgs Boson particle. The reason I have to say that is because the particle that we found, despite everyone saying, "We found it!" it hasn't been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's the Higgs Boson particle. So, the math does check out that it is the Higgs boson particle, but we're still doing experiments that to test if it really is the Higgs boson or just a particle that is Higgs boson-like. So anyway, the main question that I get asked whenever the Higgs boson is brought up is, what is so important about the Higgs boson particle? And I'm glad you asked. Um, at the time of the Big Bang, these particles, known as the Higgs boson particles, were brought into existence, and they sort of linked together, for lack of a better term, and they created what is known as the Higgs field. And when particles pass through it, they're given mass. Um, that's how we get mass. And a lot of people are, whenever I tell people that, are like, "Well, we already knew what gave us mass." And most of them, most people who say that don't know what mass actually is. A lot of people think that mass and weight are the same thing. They're the same. No, they're not. Weight is how much gravity on whatever particular floating chunk of rock that you're standing on affects you. Mass is what makes you you. It's what makes you possible. It's really complicated, and what makes it even more complicated is that up until we theorized about the Higgs boson particle and the Higgs field, we had no idea what gave us mass or what mass even was. But then we came up with the Higgs field, and it's being proven, basically. So that's why the Higgs boson particle is so important. Now, recent developments into the recent research shows that the Higgs boson particle, some of the stuff that we've discovered about it, makes a cyclical timeline very, very probable, I should say. Probable. Now, for those of you who haven't seen my episode about time travel, a cyclical timeline is the universe starts, and then it goes, and then it ends, and then it starts, and then it goes, and then it ends, and then it starts, and then it goes, and then it ends. See, it keeps going in a circle, and that's why it's called cyclical. I talk about this in a little bit more depth in my time travel episode, so if you haven't seen that, go watch that. It's a really good one. Well, scientists have been doing research into the Higgs boson, and they've been crunching the numbers, basically. And I've looked at it, and their math is pretty damn impeccable. It's kind of beautiful. But anyway, what it shows is that at some point, the Higgs boson it itself might not create this bubble, but it will definitely be one of the key members. A bubble will form inside of our universe that is literally made of nothing, and the vacuum of space will want to be inside that bubble, and that bubble is caused by a quantum fluctuation, and that makes a tiny bubble in the vacuum, and then that vacuum of space wants to be inside of that bubble, and because it's in a low energy state, it's going to be expanding at approximately the speed of light. Now, that's really cool, you know? I mean, that would be rad, you know? That would be cool, that would be awesome, except for the fact that now you have this small bubble of basically universe expanding inside of our universe that is already expanding at the speed of light. And that bubble, it is either engulfing or, for the most part, pushing everything out of its way. So now you have our universe expanding at the speed of light, and then this other universe that is pushing against it at the speed of light. And basically, the most prominent idea of what's going to happen is it's going to cause our universe to rip itself apart. Sorry. If it makes you feel any better, we're all going to be dead for like a million years before this happens. Actually, probably more like billions of years. A good way to look at the universe building inside of our universe is think about a balloon that's been partially inflated, and then you put a deflated balloon inside of it, and you start inflating both of them at once. Not entirely sure how you would do that, but just think about it like that. So now you have the regular balloon, and it was doing fine holding in its own pressure as it expands, but then when you put in the new balloon, and it's expanding at the same speed as the old balloon, now that old balloon has to withhold its own pressure and the pressure from the new balloon expanding inside of it. Well, eventually, that big balloon is going to pop or rip itself apart because of all the added pressure, and then that smaller balloon inside is going to be perfectly fine because it's only been having to deal with its own pressure. And then one day, a smaller balloon will be inside of that balloon, and then so on and so forth forever because it's a cyclical time. Ooh, you're understanding it now. Basically, that is what's going to happen with the smaller universe inside of the bigger universe, in all likelihood. As I said, not only will you be dead, but in all likelihood, the human race itself will be dead. The sun, the Earth, the human race might not be dead, but in all likelihood, it probably will be. The Earth will have burned up, the sun will have burned out, and the Milky Way galaxy will have made contact with a bigger galaxy and ripped itself apart. So, there's that. Sorry to depress some of you. I know that could be kind of depressing, but science isn't here to make you feel better about yourself. It's just here to be awesome. And I'm just here to teach you science. So if you have any questions about this, any at all, talk to me on Facebook or send me an email at StayNerdyMyFriends or just put a question in the comments, and I promise I will answer all of your questions. All of them. It's very I love that you guys actually ask questions. If you have any ideas for the show, send me an email at StayNerdyMyFriends@gmail.com. Like this video, share it with your friends, share it with your dog, share it with your family, share it with everyone that you possibly know. If you use that balloon metaphor that I told you about to kind of shock your teachers or make your friends think you're really smart, that's awesome. That's what I'm here for. Just like this video and subscribe to the channel if you did do that, or even if you didn't, hit the subscribe button. It feels good. Trust me. Definitely, please subscribe to the channel if you want to keep learning things. It's a good show. Trust me. Other than that, the only thing I can think of is stay nerdy, my friend.